Okay, so for today's deep dive, we're unpacking a topic that, for most businesses, is, well, it's literally hanging over their heads. We're
Hmm.
talking about the humble overhead lighting tube, staggering financial and environmental math hidden inside what seems like a really simple decision.
It seems simple, yeah.
Our focus today is super targeted. We're doing a side-by-side comparison, a real technical and financial breakdown of two things. The old guard, the traditional fluorescent T8 tube,
The one we all know.
and its replacement, the Philips T8 LED tube, the ultra-efficient model. We've got all the data on cost, on, operational spending, environmental impact, the works.
And our mission here is to really give you that shortcut, that blueprint. We want to show you the exact point when swapping out a light bulb stops being, I don't know, a minor facilities task
Right.
and becomes an undeniable, critical business decision, one that just guarantees a rapid return. I mean, the numbers we're looking at, the basic demand you take action.
Exactly. This isn't just about a room being brighter. This is about the bottom line. So let's start where the problem is, with the tech that's still everywhere. Offices, warehouses, the traditional T8.
The one with the high operational costs.
Let's start with the most obvious one, energy use. It's a cost people know is there, but I think they really underestimate it. We're looking at a tube that pulls 36 watts.
Which doesn't sound like much.
It sounds tiny, but you don't have one light. You have hundreds, maybe thousands. They're burning for 12, 18, sometimes 24 hours a day.
And that's where the cost just multiplies. That 36 watts, that's just the starting point. The high wattage pumps out a lot of ambient heat.
Oh, I never even thought of that.
Yeah, so for a big facility, especially somewhere warm, that heat load means your air conditioning has to work harder. You're not just paying for the light, you're paying extra to cool down the heat from the light.
It's like a cooling tax on your lighting.
Precisely. And that's just one piece of the inefficiency puzzle. The sources point to the next big problem, their short lifespan. The data says they last for about 15,000 hours.
15,000 hours. On paper, that sounds kind of decent. But in a place that's running all the time, that means they're constantly burning out.
Constantly. When a source labels something with a short lifespan in a commercial context, you have to stop thinking about the cost of the tube itself, which is, pretty low.
Sure, they're cheap to buy.
Right, but you have to start calculating the frequent replacements and maintenance costs. Every single time a tube fails, it sets off this whole chain reaction.
Okay, walk me through that.
So, someone notices the light is out. The facility manager has to schedule a guy. That guy has to find the right tube, get a ladder, block off the area, do the swap, and then log the repair.
That's a lot of steps.
It is. And if you're doing that 50 times a month, the labor cost just completely dwarfs the price of the tube. It's this recurring labor-intensive tax on the business.
Not to mention the annoying flicker or hum for days before it even gets fixed. We've all been in that office.
That's the user experience cost.
Yeah.
It's harder to put a number on, but it's definitely real. But let's get to the core technical piece here. The fluorescent tube isn't just plug and play. It needs this other component to work.
And that would be the infamous ballast.
Correct. The ballast. It's basically this electromagnetic box that gives the tube the initial jolt of power to light up the gas, and then it regulates the current. But it's old tech.
Heavy. Right.
Heavy, it fails, it generates a ton of heat, adding to that cooling problem we mentioned, and it's responsible for that classic low hum or flicker you associate with old lighting.
So when a light fixture dies, you have two potential culprits. Is it the cheap tube or the expensive, complicated ballast?
Exactly. It adds a whole other layer of complexity to every single repair. It's another point of failure, another thing to keep in inventory, and it inflates the labor cost to fix it.
And speaking of expensive complications, we have to talk about the toxic elephant in the room. The sources are very blunt about this. The traditional tube contains mercury. That one detail, it just changes the entire cost of getting rid of them, doesn't it? When that short lifespan tube dies, you can't just toss it in the bin.
Absolutely not. Mercury is a neurotoxin. Its presence means every single one of those dead tubes becomes regulated, hazardous waste.
Which means more procedures.
It means specialized collection, storage, certified disposal, these compliance costs, paperwork, and big potential fines if you mess it up.
So if we sum it all up, the pain of the old T8 is high power draw plus cooling costs.
Right. Then you have the frequent labor-intensive
The
maintenance
complexity of the ballast.
and the regulatory nightmare of mercury waste. It's just a fundamentally broken operational model.
Okay, so let's flip the script and look at the solution. The sources call it the ultra-efficient technology.
Yeah.
The Philips T8 LED tube. And the promise isn't small, it's significant total savings.
And that promise starts with the energy efficiency. It's a staggering leap. We were at 36 watts for the old tube.
Right.
The LED equivalent drops that consumption to just 11.9 watts.
Wow, okay.
When you put 36 watts next to 11.9, the math is just, it's incredible. This one upgrade lets you save up to 70% on your lighting energy bill, just like that.
70%.
Imagine walking into a warehouse and just wiping 70% off the energy cost for every single light. That's not a small change. It's a total transformation of your operating budget.
And that 70% cut immediately helps with the two problems we talked about, the raw electricity cost and the cooling cost. Less power means less heat.
Correct. Way less heat, which lowers the strain on your HVAC system. That can even extend the life of your air conditioning and save even more energy. The savings just cascade through the building.
That is huge. But I think what's even more impressive is how this tech just destroys the maintenance costs we were talking about. The old tube was 15,000 hours.
A revolving door of replacements.
So what's the lifespan on the LED version?
The LED is rated at 50,000 plus hours.
50,000.
That's a critical number. We're not talking about a small improvement here. We're talking about a more than 3x longer lifespan.
That's the operational game changer right there.
Absolutely. For a facilities manager, that means you eliminate over 2/3 of your lighting maintenance overnight. Think about your maintenance team. With this switch, you're suddenly freeing up all those hours for more important work around the building. It's a massive labor dividend.
It changes maintenance from this constant reactive firefighting to a predictable long-term event. And this is all because the LED system is just simpler, right? The old system had that clunky ballast.
And the LED system replaces that with a high-efficiency solid-state component. It's called a driver.
Okay, a driver.
And this is a key shift. The driver is electronic. It converts power digitally, precisely. It's smaller, way more reliable, and generates very little heat. So you get minimal maintenance on the electronics, not just the tube.
And you get that modern feel.
Exactly. It's instant on, no flicker, no hum. It's just a cleaner, better, more reliable source of light across the board.
Okay, let's unpack this and bring it back to the bottom line. You've got a 70% energy cut, a 3 times longer life, a simpler system.
Yep.
This has to result in an amazing financial outcome.
It does.
But we have to address the elephant in the room. The sticker price.
The upfront cost.
Yeah, the traditional tubes are cheap, just a few bucks. If the LED tube costs way more upfront, how does this whole fast payback idea actually hold up?
That is the right question to ask. And this is where the financial blueprint from our sources gives you that real aha moment.
Okay.
The upfront cost of the premium LED is higher, sometimes 3 or 4 times higher than the cheap fluorescent tube. But
the savings kick in immediately.
Immediately and powerfully. When you calculate the total operational savings, that 70% energy cut, plus the massive labor savings from avoiding all those replacements, the payback period just collapses.
So how fast are we talking?
The sources specify a typical timeline for getting your money back. Less than 1 year.
Less than a year? That's almost unheard of for a major infrastructure upgrade.
It really is. The operational savings are just so huge, they completely absorb that initial sticker price in a matter of months. Get proven financial benefits almost right away.
So it's an investment that starts returning cash to the company within a single calendar year. That's not a long-term plan. That's an immediate business priority.
It makes it a complete no-brainer. But here's where it gets really interesting, because the financial win aligns perfectly with huge environmental wins. We talked about the mercury in the old tubes.
Hazardous waste, the disposal risk, all of it.
The LED technology is explicitly mercury-free. That fact alone eliminates the hazardous waste problem, simplifies disposal, and removes a huge liability for the company.
And then there's the bigger picture.
Exactly. Since you're using 70% less electricity from the grid to do the same job, the tech naturally leads to lower CO2 emissions. So this moves beyond just being compliant and into real, measurable corporate sustainability.
It all connects.
It's a choice that delivers rapid financial returns, cuts labor costs, improves the work environment, and lowers your carbon footprint. The sources make a clear, quantified case to switch and save with Philips LED.
So let's just recap the numbers here because they really define the whole story. You're swapping a 36-watt tube that's wasting energy and creating heat
for an 11.9-watt tube that's cool and efficient.
You're getting rid of the failure-prone ballast and getting a modern solid-state driver. And you're going from a 15,000-hour life cycle that demands constant maintenance
to a 50,000-plus hour life cycle that frees up your people to do more valuable work.
And the most important part, all those savings combined give you that golden number. a guaranteed return on your investment in less than 1 year.
It's one of those rare cases where the most sustainable choice is also, by far, the most profitable one.
So this deep dive really showed how a seemingly simple choice, just optimizing your lights, can have this guaranteed rapid ROI and clear environmental benefits, which brings up a big question for you to think about.
Mm-hmm.
If a basic component like lighting yields such dramatic success with a payback of less than a year, where else in your daily operations or your supply chain might a similar ultra-efficient upgrade be hiding?
Exactly. Look for those old legacy systems, the ones that use a lot of energy and need frequent maintenance. That convergence is where the next guaranteed profit is just waiting to be found.
It really makes you look at every flickering light in a whole new way. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope this comparison inspires you to look for those kinds of shortcuts in your own work.